At a backyard barbecue, my wife laughed and said, "Who wants to trade husbands? Mine is easy, quiet, and has no ambition." Everyone laughed at me. Then our divorced neighbor said, "I'll take him." My wife's smile disappeared when he added, "When should I come get him?" But before I begin, please like and subscribe to the channel. And we'd love to hear which part of the world are you joining us from. Let us know. Now let's dive into today's story. The charcoal grill hissed and popped as fat dripped on hot coals. Someone's kid, the Peterson boy, maybe, shrieked and darted between the legs of adults holding sweating beer bottles. The afternoon sun beat down on the backyard in Ashford Bend, Indiana, where everyone knew everyone, and forgetting was never an option. He stood near the fence, paper plate in hand, watching. Always watching. His name didn't matter much in this town. He was Raina's husband, the logistics guy, the one who showed up to every school event, every potluck, every neighborhood gathering, and said just enough to be polite before fading into the background. That was fine with him. The burgers were cheap, the kind that came frozen in bulk bags, but nobody seemed to mind. Country music drifted from a portable speaker someone had propped on a cooler. The Peterson kid's mother called out a half-hearted warning about running with food. Nobody listened. Raina stood near the grill, center stage as always. Her laugh carried across the yard, sharp and bright, cutting through the low murmur of conversation. She held a plastic cup filled with something pink and fruity, the kind of drink she'd nurse for an hour just to keep her hands occupied. She laughed louder when people looked at her. He'd noticed that years ago. "Marriage is a trap, man," someone said. Dave Renner, probably. The guy owned a body shop on Route 9 and complained about his wife at every gathering. You think you're free, then boom, mortgage, kids, arguments about whose turn it is to take out the trash. A few people chuckled. Sympathetic nods all around. Raina tilted her head, grinning. "Oh, come on. It's not that bad." "Easy for you to say," Dave shot back, grinning. "You got a good one. Quiet, dependable, doesn't complain." Raina's smile widened. She swirled her drink, ice clinking against the plastic. "Who wants to trade husbands? Mine's easy, quiet, and has no ambition." The laughter rolled through the yard like thunder. He felt it land, felt the weight of eyes shifting toward him, curious, amused, felt the heat in his chest that had nothing to do with the sun. He didn't flinch, didn't smile, didn't move. Someone whistled low. Another voice, female, he couldn't place it, said ouch. Wade Mercer, the divorced neighbor who lived 3 houses down, leaned against the porch railing. He was tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of guy who looked comfortable anywhere. He'd been divorced for 2 years, and everyone in town knew the story. His ex-wife had left him for a guy from Indianapolis. Wade hadn't fought it, just signed the papers and moved on. Wade grinned, slow and deliberate. "I'll take him." More laughter. Someone clapped. Dave Renner nearly choked on his beer. Wade's grin didn't fade. "Seriously, when should I come get him?" The laughter changed. It wasn't quite as loud. A few people glanced at Raina, then away. Someone coughed. The Peterson kid screamed again, but nobody paid attention. Raina's laugh stopped too fast. She blinked, smile frozen, and took a long sip from her cup. He noticed everything. The way her fingers tightened on the plastic. The way her eyes flicked to Wade, then to him, then back to her drink. The way the silence stretched just a beat too long. Then someone changed the subject, something about the high school football team, and the moment passed. But he didn't forget it. The drive home was 13 minutes. Long enough to feel the silence. Not long enough to escape it. Raina sat in the passenger seat, arms crossed, staring out the window. The turn signal clicked on and off as he navigated the empty streets. 4-way stop. Left turn. Straight past the gas station with the busted neon sign. She shifted in her seat. Uncrossed her arms. Crossed them again. "You know I was joking," she said finally. He kept his eyes on the road. "Okay. I was. It was just a joke. Everyone was joking. I heard." She exhaled through her nose, sharp and frustrated. "You're doing that thing." "What thing?" "That quiet thing, where you don't say anything and just sit there." He switched lanes. The steering wheel was warm under his palms. "I'm listening." "No, you're not. You're sulking." He didn't respond. Raina twisted in her seat, facing him now. "Come on. It was a stupid joke at a stupid barbecue. Nobody meant anything by it. Jokes land somewhere, he said. She stared at him. What does that mean? It means what it means. God, you're impossible. She turned back to the window, tapped her fingers against her thigh. The silence stretched. Then, quieter, almost to herself, you've always been like this. Serious. Small town boring. That one stuck. Not because it hurt. It didn't, not really. Pain required surprise, and he wasn't surprised. It explained a lot. The late nights, the distant looks, the way she'd started dressing differently, wearing perfume when she left for work, the way she'd stopped asking about his day. He pulled into the driveway, killed the engine, sat there for a moment, hands still on the wheel. Raina got out first, slammed the door harder than necessary. He followed. 13 years. That's how long they'd been married. 13 years of shared space, shared responsibilities, shared silence. 2 kids, a daughter, 11, a son, 9, both asleep by the time they got home, both oblivious to the tension that had settled over the house like dust. The mortgage was manageable. The neighborhood was decent. The schools were fine. They had schedules taped to the fridge, color-coded, organized, updated weekly. Soccer practice on Tuesdays. Piano lessons on Thursdays. Parent-teacher conferences marked in red. He worked logistics for a regional distributor. Not glamorous. Not exciting. Long hours, dependable income, benefits that covered dental. He showed up to games. Paid bills early. Fixed the leaky faucet in the upstairs bathroom without being asked. Raina stayed home for the first few years. Then, when their son started school, she got a part-time job at a wellness studio an hour away. Yoga, Pilates, smoothie bar in the lobby. She came back later and later. He trusted her. That was his mistake. 3 nights after the barbecue, Raina fell asleep on the couch. The television played low, some reality show about people renovating houses. The living room was dark except for the blue glow of the screen. She lay curled on her side, phone resting on the cushion beside her, unlocked. He stood in the doorway, watching. She was still dressed in the clothes she'd worn to work. Black leggings, oversized sweatshirt, hair pulled back in a messy bun. She looked younger when she slept. Softer. He didn't move right away. Part of him wanted to walk away. Go upstairs. Pretend he hadn't seen it. But he learned a long time ago that pretending didn't make things disappear. He crossed the room, sat on the edge of the coffee table, picked up the phone. The screen lit up. No passcode. Messages. Dozens of them. A contact labeled C. He opened it. The first message was from 2 hours ago. Miss you already. He scrolled up. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Further. You're incredible. Photos. Not explicit, but close. Her, smiling, wearing a dress he'd never seen. Him, shirtless, grinning like he'd won something. The timeline wasn't messy. It was clear. Dates. Times. Patterns. 8 months. He scrolled further. Found a name in one of the earlier messages. Cole Ivers. Married. Confident. Careless. He put the phone back exactly where it was. Rose from the coffee table. Walked upstairs. In the bedroom, he sat on the edge of the bed and stared at the wall. He didn't cry. Didn't yell. Didn't punch anything. He just sat there, breathing, thinking. 8 months. The next morning, their daughter asked, "Why is Mom always tired?" He was making breakfast. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice. Routine. Simple. Safe. She works hard, he said. His daughter frowned, poking at her eggs with a fork. She's always sleeping when I get home from school. She has a lot going on. Is she sick? No. She's just tired. His son didn't ask questions. He ate quickly, eyes on his cereal bowl, shoulders hunched. He'd stopped asking if his father was coming to his games. He just assumed he would. Raina didn't come downstairs until the kids had left for school. She looked at him. He looked back. Coffee, she asked. Already made. She poured herself a cup, leaned against the counter. Didn't say anything. He rinsed his plate, loaded it into the dishwasher, wiped down the counter. You're quiet, she said. I'm fine. You're always quiet. He didn't respond. She sighed, set her cup down, left the room. That night, he started documenting everything. Dates, screenshots, expenses, credit card statements showing charges at hotels 30 miles away. gas station receipts from towns he'd never been to, patterns that painted a picture clearer than any confession. He called a divorce attorney the next week, not to threaten, to prepare. The attorney was a woman named Patricia Hollis. Sharp eyes, no-nonsense tone, office that smelled like old paper and coffee. She listened without interrupting, took notes, asked pointed questions. "Do you have evidence?" she asked. "Yes." "How much?" "Enough." She nodded. "Good." Indiana is a no-fault state, but evidence of infidelity can influence custody and asset division. You'll need to be smart about this. I am. Are you ready for this to get ugly? He met her eyes. It's already ugly. He didn't yell. He waited until the kids were asleep, until the house was quiet, until there was no escape. Raina was in the kitchen, scrolling through her phone, glass of wine in hand. She looked up when he walked in. "Hey," she said. "Want some?" "I know about coal," he said. The color drained from her face. She set the glass down, slowly, carefully, like she was afraid it might shatter. "What?" "I know." She laughed. "Sharp. Brittle. You went through my phone? That's your answer? You invaded my privacy. You destroyed our marriage." She stood, hands shaking, eyes wide. "It's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is." She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. It just happened. For 8 months. Her breath hitched. She gripped the edge of the counter. "How do you?" "I know everything," he said. His voice was calm, steady, colder than he'd ever heard it. "I know when. I know where. I know how much you spent. I know how many times you lied to me. To our kids." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. I was lonely. So was I. You don't understand. Then help me understand." She shook her head, wiped her eyes. "You're never here. You're always working. You're always distant. I was here every night, every weekend, every game, every recital, every school event. Where were you? That's not fair. None of this is fair." She sobbed, loud, messy, the kind of crying that shook her whole body. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. We can. We're done," he said. The words landed heavy. Final. She stared at him. "What? We're done. You don't mean that." "I do. Please." She reached for him. He stepped back. "Please don't do this. I love you. I made a mistake. I'll end it. You already ended it," he said. 8 months ago. She collapsed into a chair, buried her face in her hands. "Sob harder." He watched, felt nothing. Then he turned and walked away. He moved into the guest room that night. Raina didn't follow him, didn't knock, didn't try to talk. He lay in a narrow bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle. The hum of the refrigerator downstairs, the creak of the floorboards, the distant sound of Raina crying in there, her bedroom. He didn't sleep much. The next morning, he started separating finances. He opened a new bank account, rerouted his paycheck, transferred half of their savings into his name only, changed passwords on every shared account, email, streaming services, credit cards. When Raina asked what he was doing, he said, "Protecting my kids. They're our kids. You should have thought about that before." She flinched. "You're being cruel. I'm being practical. This isn't you. You don't know me." She stared at him. "I've known you for 13 years, and you still chose someone else." She had no answer for that. The divorce wasn't dramatic. It was precise. Patricia Hollis handled everything with surgical efficiency. Custody hearings, asset division, documentation, evidence presented clearly, methodically, without theatrics. The affair tipped the scales. Indiana courts didn't punish infidelity directly, but they considered behavior when determining custody. Stability, responsibility, which parent put the children first. Raina didn't have a strong case. She'd been absent, distracted. Her work hours didn't align with the kids' schedules. She had no family nearby, no support system beyond friends who were already starting to distance themselves. He had everything: stable job, consistent presence, clean record, character witnesses who testified to his reliability, his dedication, his commitment. The judge ruled in his favor. Primary custody, the house, no spousal support. Raina sat in the courtroom, silent, hollow-eyed. Her attorney, a young guy fresh out of law school, looked uncomfortable. Cole Ivers wasn't there. Hadn't been there since the affair became public. He'd disappeared back to his own marriage, his own mess, leaving Raina to face the consequences alone. When the gavel fell, Raina didn't cry. She just stared at her hands. Outside the courthouse, she stopped him. "Can we talk?" "About what?" "The kids. When I can see them. You'll get your visitation schedule. I mean really see them. Not just supervised visits. You should have thought about that." "Stop saying that. It's true." She wrapped her arms around herself. "I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But they're my kids, too." "Then act like it." She flinched, looked away. "I don't know how to fix this." "You don't. There has to be a way." "There isn't." He walked to his car. Didn't look back. Raina moved into a small apartment near the highway. 1 bedroom. Thin walls. A parking lot that smelled like oil and exhaust. The kind of place people landed when everything fell apart. She'd lost the house. Lost primary custody. Lost credibility in a town where reputation was currency. Friends stopped inviting her to gatherings. Calls went unreturned. Texts ignored. The wellness studio cut her hours. Budget concerns, they said. But he knew the truth. Small towns had a way of closing ranks. He didn't celebrate. Didn't feel vindicated. Just watched from a distance as the life she'd built on lies crumbled. The kids adjusted slowly. His daughter asked questions at first. "Why doesn't Mom live with us anymore? When is she coming back? Did we do something wrong?" He answered honestly. Age-appropriately, but honestly. "Mom and I aren't together anymore. She'll still see you. You didn't do anything wrong." Sometimes adults make choices that change things. His son didn't ask questions. He just got quieter. Spent more time in his room. Stopped talking about school. One night, his daughter came downstairs while he was washing dishes. She stood in the doorway, small and uncertain. "Dad." "Yeah." "Is Mom okay?" He dried his hands, turned to face her. "She's managing." "She seems sad." "She is sad." "Are you sad?" He thought about that. "No." "Why not?" "Because being sad won't change anything." She frowned. "That doesn't make sense. It will when you're older." She didn't look convinced, but she nodded, hugged him, went back upstairs. He finished the dishes. Raina called late one night, 2 months after the divorce was finalized. He almost didn't answer, stared at the screen for 3 rings, then picked up. "What?" Her voice was thick, rough. "I made a mistake. I know. I didn't think it would end like this." "What did you think would happen?" Silence. Then quietly, "I don't know." "Yes, you do. You thought you could have both. The stability and the excitement. Me and him. The family and the affair." "That's not." "It is." More silence. "I want to see the kids more," she said. "You have your visitation. It's not enough. It's what you earned. They're my children. Then you should have acted like a mother." She sucked in a breath. "You're cruel. I'm honest. I hate you." "Good." He hung up, deleted the call log, went back to reading. The final court hearing was in November. Cold morning. Gray sky. The courthouse steps were slick with frost. The judge read the terms calmly. Clinical. Detached. Just another case in a long line of cases. Full custody to him. Limited visitation for her. 2 weekends a month. Supervised until further notice. No spousal support. Assets divided. House remains with him. Raina didn't cry. Didn't protest. Just sat there, empty, staring at the table in front of her. Her attorney shuffled papers. Cleared his throat. "Your Honor, my client would like to request." "Request denied," the judge said. "This court has made its determination based on the evidence presented. Unless there's new evidence to suggest a change in circumstances, the terms stand." Raina's attorney sat down. The judge closed the file. "This hearing is adjourned." The gavel fell. Raina stood slowly, looked at him one last time. He met her gaze, held it, felt nothing. She left first. He stayed until the courtroom emptied. Then he walked out into the cold. 6 months later, he stood at the edge of Clearwater Reservoir, watching his kids fish off a small wooden dock. The water was still, glassy, reflecting the pale sky. His daughter held her fishing rod with both hands, tongue sticking out in concentration. His son sat beside her, lying in the water, shoulders relaxed for the first time in months. It was quiet, simple, peaceful. Wade Mercer was across the lake, working on his boat. He looked up, saw him, raised a hand in greeting. He raised his hand back. No words. No need for them. His daughter shouted, "I got one." He walked over, helped her reel it in. A small bass. She grinned. Bright. Proud. "Can we keep it?" she asked. "Let's throw it back. Let it grow." She pouted but agreed. Watched as he carefully removed the hook and released the fish back into the water. It swam away, quick and strong. His son tugged on his sleeve. "Can we come back next week?" "Yeah, we can come back." His phone buzzed. A text from Raina. "I hope one day you forgive me." He stared at the screen. Thought about responding. Thought about all the things he could say. Then he deleted it. Some things didn't deserve closure. They deserved distance. And he finally had both. Winter came early that year. Snow fell in thick, silent sheets, covering the town in white. The kids loved it. Built snowmen in the yard. Had snowball fights with the neighbor kids. Came inside with red cheeks and cold hands, tracking slush across the kitchen floor. He didn't mind. The house felt different now. Lighter, like something heavy had been lifted. No more tension in the air. No more waiting for the other shoe to drop. He kept the routines. Breakfast every morning. Homework checked every night. Bedtime stories for his daughter, even though she was getting too old for them. Video games with his son on weekends. Normal. Simple. Real. Raina came for her first unsupervised visit in December. He watched from the doorway as the kids climbed into her car. His daughter waved. His son didn't look back. She looked thinner. Tired. Her hair was different, shorter, darker. She wore clothes he didn't recognize. Try to smile. "I'll have him back by 6, she said. 5:30. The order says 6. 5:30, he repeated. She pressed her lips together, nodded, drove away. He watched until the car disappeared around the corner. Then he went inside, did laundry, cleaned the kitchen, fixed the loose hinge on the pantry door. Stayed busy. They came back at 5:30. His daughter talked the whole way up the driveway, animated, happy. His son was quiet. "How was it?" he asked. "Good," his daughter said. "We went to the movies and got ice cream." Mom cried a little, but she said it was happy crying. He glanced at his son. "You okay?" "Yeah." "Want to talk about it?" "No." "Okay." They went inside. He made dinner. Spaghetti, garlic bread, salad. The kids ate quickly, then disappeared upstairs. He cleaned up, loaded the dishwasher, wiped down the table. His phone buzzed. Text from Raina. "Thank you for today." He didn't respond. January brought change. His daughter made honor roll. His son joined the school basketball team. Wade Mercer invited them over for a barbecue. A small one, just a few neighbors, nothing like the disaster for last summer. "You don't have to come," Wade said. "But you're welcome. I'll think about it. Bring the kids. They can hang out with mine." He thought about it, then agreed. The barbecue was simple. Good food. Low-key conversation. No drama. Wade's kids, 2 boys, younger than his, ran around the yard, laughing. Someone asked about Raina. Wade changed the subject smoothly. No judgment. No gossip. Just moved on. He appreciated that. February came. Then March. Life settled into a rhythm. Raina's visitation continued. Every other weekend. Sometimes she missed it. Work, she said, or not feeling well. The kid stopped asking why. His daughter started piano lessons again. His son scored his first basket in a game. He was there for both. At work, he got promoted. More responsibility. Better pay. The kind of thing Raina would have said he'd never achieve. He didn't tell her. April brought warmer weather. The reservoir thawed. Wildflowers bloomed along the banks. He took the kids fishing again. Same spot. Same dock. His daughter caught 3 fish. His son caught 2. They threw them all back. Wade stopped by on his boat. "You guys need a ride?" "We're good," he said. "Suit yourself." Wade waved. Motored away. His son watched him go. "Is Mr. Mercer your friend now?" "I guess so." "That's cool." "Yeah, it is." They packed up, drove home, made dinner together, watched a movie, fell asleep on the couch. The 3 of them piled together like puppies. It was enough. More than enough. Raina sent another message in May. "Can we talk? In person?" He stared at it for a long time, then replied, "No, please. It's important." "Then say it here. I want to apologize. Properly. Face to face." You already apologized. Not really. Not the way I should have. It won't change anything. I know, but I need to try. He set the phone down. Thought about it. Picked it up again. No. She didn't respond. Summer came. School let out. The kids spent long days outside, running through sprinklers, riding bikes, playing with neighbors. He took time off work. 2 weeks. They went camping, hiked trails, roasted marshmallows over a fire, slept in a tent that smelled like canvas and pine. His daughter asked, "Is Mom coming camping with us next year?" "I don't know. Do you want her to?" "No." "Why not?" "Because this is ours." She thought about that, nodded, seemed satisfied. His son didn't ask questions, just helped set up the tent, collected firewood, smiled more than he had in months. They came home tired and happy. Dirty clothes, sunburned noses, memories that would last. August brought the 1-year anniversary of the barbecue. He didn't think about it until the date appeared on his calendar. Then he did, briefly, remembered the laughter, the humiliation, the moment everything started to crack. He felt nothing, no anger, no sadness, no regret, just nothing, and that was fine. Raina sent one last message in September. "I'm moving. Out of state. New job. Fresh start. I wanted you to know. Okay, I'll still do visitation when I can. Video calls. Holidays. Okay, I'm sorry. For everything." He stared at the message. Considered responding. Considered saying something final, something that would close the door completely. Then he realized the door was already closed. Had been closed for a long time. He deleted the message. Blocked the number. Went outside. Found his kids playing in the yard. His daughter laughing. His son grinning. They saw him. Ran over. Grabbed his hands. Pulled him into their game. He let them. And for the first time in a long time, he felt something other than emptiness. He felt whole.